everyone, it's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet. Sometimes my camera likes to start when I'm not ready. So that's what happens. So how are you today? I don't even know what today is, but I can tell you what we're up to. Roy and I, by the way, this is not a crochet video. This is a, not crochet video. It is a trip to Abraham Lincoln Birthplace National Historical Park in Kentucky. So hold on one second. So if you hear background noises, we're on a highway, so you might be hearing some traffic. You might be hearing Roy move around. We live in a 28-foot camper. You get noise. So that's how that goes. But we took a trip yesterday to Abraham Lincoln Birthplace National Park. This is the park. I guess it's about 150 acres, I think the woman told me. This is part of the brochure. And this, they also call it Abraham Lincoln Birthplace First Lincoln Memorial, which I thought that was kind of cool, because when you see the building, I don't know if there's a good picture in here, it reminds me of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. Here's a picture from the brochure. Kind of resembles, and this was built first, so that's kind of funny. So we went there. I'm going to, as I'm talking, put up pictures. And hopefully I made notes, so hopefully it'll all come up in the right order. So first you're going to see a sign talking about where we're at. I made notes, so I hope I remember what I'm talking about. So when you see these pictures of the outside of the building, the pictures that I took, notice all the stairs. There are 56 stairs because he died at the age of 56 years old. On the outside of the building, and this will be a more closer up picture. Oh, by the way, I did all the stairs. I was real proud of myself. I did the Rocky dance at the top. Anyway, the building on the outside, there's carvings, and later in, and I don't remember what they say, but later in the video there is a plaque, and it has the writing. So I tried to get a picture. I got a picture of the front door, which was like brass with lions on it, or it looks, I think it's brass, but it's all dark now, like patina and whatever. But there's writing on the outside, and that writing was hard to read. So I don't know if I got it in the picture or not, but there'll be a picture, a plaque later that shows you that. Inside there is a, when you go inside, you didn't go in the front door. You had to go around the back to go in. I don't know why that is, but there's a plaque that you'll see that says "Settling the Frontier." So Lincoln was born in this little tiny house, cabin made from wood and mud, and it was on a about 300-ish acres of land. Where this park is where they believe the house could have sat. That's where they put the memorial up on a high spot near the spring. The spring is called Sinking Springs, and there are pictures of that as well. But they were frontiersmen, and so they had to clear the land, build the house, and then live there. And so, of course, one of the main reasons for living there in that particular spot was because of the spring water. Now you'll see pictures. Well, let's see. The next picture is an enduring symbol plaque, and if you can zoom, like, stop your video and zoom in and read it if you want to, but it just says that this memorial was built between 1907 and 1911, and the house isn't necessarily the same house that Lincoln was built in, because they couldn't, or born in, because they couldn't know that for sure. They wouldn't know which one was his. So basically it's a replica. But it would have been, his would have been just like this, because they were all built the same size, the same way. And then there's a couple of pictures inside of the cabin. And I'm going to add this picture in, which the postcard picture, and you can, it's clearer, so you'll see a picture of a postcard in there as well. And it was literally, Lincoln logs were named after this cabin, I guess, or the construction of this cabin, when they were bringing it piece by piece. They rebuilt it in the building. They couldn't move it all at one piece, but they built it piece by piece, and the way the logs are notched out, and they were calling them Lincoln logs. Oh, these are the Lincoln logs. These are the Lincoln logs. And hence then the toy, Lincoln logs, with the notches to build things. You'll notice in the pictures of the ceiling in the building, there are 16 rosettes across the ceiling, and there are 16, I think, there's a couple of 16s, and I don't remember what other things there were 16, but 16 rosettes on the ceiling, representing he was the 16th president. Then we'll come to pictures of the well. And as I said before, there's a plaque in there that talks about it as well. But the main reason for picking out this specific area was because of the well. The well will give you, loud noise. The well would sustain your cooking and cleaning and drinking water. Now they tell you don't drink the water, but he did, or their family did. And it was a deep well. I mean, you go down there, but it was running pretty heavy. There's been a lot of rain in the neighborhood, in the area here. Flooding that there doesn't normally happen in this area. We'll talk about that in a minute. And so the next pictures, but that's why the well is running so good, because there's a lot of flooding going on here. The next pictures are of some little cabins in a place called Nancy Lincoln Inn. That's privately owned land within the park. She owned it, her family's owned it, and she's an elderly woman, apparently lives there. But before there was a visitor's center, she used her house as a visitor's center, and sold beverages, and I guess you rented out those cabins. So that's kind of a cool little thing there. After that, you'll see the picture of the mini memorial and the plaque that has the writing on the plaque is the writing that's carved into the front of the memorial. Part of it on the very top, and then part of it underneath there. But that's everything that it does say on the memorial. Then after that are some pictures of the After that are some pictures of the flooding that's going on in Nelson County, Kentucky, currently right now. It's not raining today. First day it hasn't rained since we've been here, which is 3 days maybe. It was already flooding when we got here. But as we drove around, as we drove to the Lincoln Memorial, there were areas that the water was, I tried to get, but you couldn't see it in the pictures. There were signage, road signs, that were half underwater. A stop sign, I saw that the water was to the bottom of the stop sign on the road. But there's just a couple of pictures there of how bad the flooding is. They're calling it the 5,000 year flood or something like that. 500,000 year flood. It doesn't flood like that here, normally. So anyway, I thought I would just throw those pictures in because it is interesting to see. So that was our trip to the Abraham Lincoln Birthplace National Historical Park. The park is free to get in, so that's awesome. There is also, not far down the road, but his boyhood home. He lived in this house until he was 2. And then there was a dispute over the land, and they moved. They rented another plot of land, also in Kentucky. Do your own research. I'm doing this all by memory. So, anyway, the parents rented another spot of land, and then several years later, there was another dispute over the land rights, and they moved out of Kentucky. They said, you know what, these people can't get their act together here. So they went into Indiana, and that's I guess where he lived the majority of his teenage years. I think they said he was 11 when he moved out of Kentucky. But something I thought was really interesting, and I don't, again, like, look up your own research, but so Lincoln's, I think, father, Thomas, I think, they call him a frontiersman, but there was a time where I believe he was with Daniel Boone. I think someone mentioned something about them being together, like before Thomas got married. I think he worked with, and Daniel Boone is a big name in Kentucky. But I think they were together for a while, like frontiering or forging forward or whatever. I think they traveled together for a short period of time. I know someone mentioned Daniel Boone's name alongside of Thomas Lincoln, which is Abraham's father, President Lincoln's father. I'm pretty sure. I get confused sometimes. I love history. I never can remember it very good. So anyway,